Hey everybody, thanks for joining me. Welcome to a special video for you on Bitcoin for 2022. One of my followers asked me to do this, and I would have done it sooner, but there was a lot of family stuff, happening for the holidays and whatnot. So I apologize if I'm hard to hear. My microphone actually broke, so that will be remedied shortly. But I'm going to proceed, and hopefully you can hear everything I'm saying relatively clearly. Yeah, we're just going to have faith and go with it. So, all right, 12 months, 2022 for Bitcoin. The last reading that I did on Bitcoin, I saw it going down. I think I did the reading when it was up pretty high. It was in the 65 or 68,000 range at the time. And I saw it going down to, I think I said it was 45,000 or less. So that, and I saw it going down to the 40s. And I remember feeling very strongly that it would have a difficult time recovering from that. I felt like it would be a slow kind of recovery, and that's exactly what's happened. So from this point, we're going to have a look at the 12 months of 2022 for Bitcoin and just kind of get a sense of where the energies are at for each month. Okay. We are in January of 2022. We're going to look at the whole year here. See what happens with Bitcoin. All right. January 2022 for Bitcoin. So we have Pisces, which is relevant because Jupiter actually, I think, just entered into Pisces. If it's not in Pisces right now, it will be shortly. So let's clarify that for January. Why is Pisces here? Bitcoin in January. Bitcoin in January. Can I have two clarifiers, please, for Bitcoin in January? Foundation. Thank you. Clarify the Two of Wands, please. Clarify the Two of Wands for Bitcoin in January. Thank you. Okay, we got 3 that flew out. Okay, here's what I'll say about January. And by the way, as I always say and have to say, this is my little legal disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own research, make your own decisions. Nothing that I say in this reading should ever be constituted as fact or financial advice, okay? So I'm reading energy. I'm reading the energy of Bitcoin in January. And the energy is showing that there's still some nebulosity around it. I do think Jupiter will affect things when Jupiter is in Pisces. Jupiter will also be moving into Aries for a brief period of time this year and then move back into Pisces. But as it stands for January, we have the recent past here that had a strong foundation. People still love it. It's stable for the most part where it's at. Now going forward in January, the road kind of splits off here. So this is the Two of Wands, but it flew out like this, okay? So it's going, what I feel is it's going from a place of relative kind of stability off almost possibly in weirdly split directions where it could go either way. But I do see a progression. I'm feeling perhaps weeks here more toward the end of the month. It's like as January moves, you know, there might be a little bit of movement upward and then perhaps a bigger movement upward. I do not see it going back up into the $60,000 range here this month. In fact, the thing that I see is that toward the end of the month here, it stalls out. So wherever it's at the end of the month is kind of, I don't see it moving much. For some reason, I see 35,000. I think that we'll see what happens in February, but I feel in a general energy sense that Bitcoin will be going down into the 30,000s. And I saw that in my last reading as well. I remember seeing it and I said, I don't know when it's going to happen, but you know, 35,000, I do feel like it will be going back down to that price. Okay, so that's January. Now we'll have a look at February. And you know, with tarot readings, none of this is ever set in stone. You know, it's like when you get a personal tarot reading, it's really a read of the energy at the current time. That's not to say that there aren't fated events that happen. There are, but you know, in general, tarot is a read of the energy, the current energies at the current time. Some of those things can change depending on various factors, right? So one of the things that could affect change in the market is politics. So if you read the news, you know, sometimes the Fed releases news and the markets will react and you'll see a major red day or a few major red days, stuff like that, obviously, you know, because most of the people who are watching this channel already know that. So now we will look into February. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own research. Okay, this flew out. February is Venus for Bitcoin. Venus will be exiting out of her retrograde at the end of January. So she goes direct. January, I think it's 28th or 29th, I can't remember. Okay, so Venus is generally a pretty good thing. For Bitcoin, what do we have here for Bitcoin in February? Clarify Venus for me, please. Give me 2 cards. cards that clarify Venus and the movement of Bitcoin in February. Bitcoin in February 2020. That's too many cards. I can't do that. Okay. 2 cards. Clarify Venus. 3 cards. Okay. I guess there's a lot to be said here. We'll see. Got the Lovers for the crowning energy last time. I'm going to keep it there. Okay. Give me a past. Clarify the past for Bitcoin in February 2022, please. Clarify the past for Bitcoin in February 20. Thank you. Okay. So there's disappointment. People are disappointed that it went down. It might be going down into the $30,000 range at the end of January. So it's entering February with a little bit of disappointment here. Okay, there's action coming. What kind of action? Give me what's the foundation for February here? For Bitcoin, thank you. The 5 of Pentacles. The 5 of Pentacles traditionally in the tarot indicates poverty. That's the easiest way to put it. This can be, Pentacles are a sign of money. So it can be poverty in a sense of time. It can also be stagnation, in just a general energetic sense. It's like a poverty of movement, okay? So even though Venus is here, Venus represents money, fine things, art, beauty, love, abundance, really. And I do feel like there is movement in February, but I do feel like whatever's happening toward the end of January here is leaving a mark. It's kind of like something that's going to disappoint people. Maybe that it dips back down or down further to the 30,000 range. But at its foundation here, it's just stagnation. And for some reason, the card of poverty shows up. So I don't think there will be too much movement, but I'm going to clarify this. Queen of Wands. What is the Queen of Wands going forward for Bitcoin in February? What is the Queen of Wands for Bitcoin going forward in February, please? February 2022. Okay. All right. Okay. So really, the sense that I'm getting with these cards going forward into February is, okay, so this is the Mother of Wands. This is, in other decks, it's the Queen of Wands. And as you can see, the wand there is being kind of squeezed by a snake. I feel like there's going to be a squeeze in the sense of people are going to try to move it. Institutions are going to try to move it. I don't feel that it's going to move as much as people think, okay? Now, normally the 3 of Wands upright indicates expansion energy, new opportunities, stuff like that. In the reverse, it's a stagnation energy. Again, it's like I just don't see it moving. And then that's clarified further by the 9 of Wands, which is the Wounded Warrior card, okay? The Wounded Warrior. So you know, with this energy of disappointment over here, moving forward into February, it might move a little bit. I think the sentiment around the coin is still very good in February, but there will be disappointment. And I think it's going to be coming in, you know, after people think that it's going to go up. I think that other coins will be going up, and people are going to be wondering why it's not moving as much as these other coins or something. I just don't see it moving as much. And on the top of the deck here, we have the Five of Wands, which is also a card of kind of struggle, okay? So at the bottom of the deck, what we don't see coming is the Eight of Swords. That's kind of like imprisonment, not literally, but it's kind of like the energy is trapped, okay? It's trapped. It can't move. People are going to feel this way about it. They're going to feel like, do I get out? Do I stay in? Do I get out? Do I stay in? Especially the people who have a lot of it. They're going to wonder, you know, what they should do, I feel, because they don't want to lose, you know, what they have. So that's kind of the overall energy of February. Hope that makes sense. Now we'll get into March. I hope the audio on this isn't too bad. I apologize. Donations and tips are always appreciated, guys, so head to the link if you like this video and you feel like it's helping you and you want me to do more. Please consider donating. It'll help me get a new microphone and other equipment that I need to make this channel the best that it possibly can be, okay? The link will be in the video description. March. Bitcoin, March 2022. March 2022 for Bitcoin. Neptune, that's kind of similar to Pisces, the first card for January. So Neptune, god of the ocean, god of the deep. Neptunian energy is nebulous. So we'll see. Okay, let's clarify this for March. Bitcoin March. Bitcoin, okay. Okay. Let's get some cards for the energy moving from February into March and then for the rest of March. Thank you. Okay, so that's still, so the energy coming, leading into March from February is that conflict. We got this as the last card in February, so this is the same. So it's coming from a place of struggle and conflict in February heading into March. What about the rest of March? Thank you. Okay, that's looking actually pretty decent. Can I have a foundation card, please, for March 2022 for Bitcoin? Okay. All right, well, So March is looking a little bit better, guys. To be honest, I do feel like there will be some change, okay, in March. So February's struggle kind of bleeds into March, perhaps in the first week. Let's see, the rest of March. Let's get some clarifiers on the rest of March. Okay. Rest of March, please. Thank you. Okay. All right. So the feeling that I'm getting overall here for March Bitcoin, the energy is that it's a little bit more stable in March. It kind of returns to a place of stability in March. It's looking a lot better going forward. Okay, so at least, and I feel like this is by like the first moon in March. I don't know when that is. I don't know when that is. Maybe perhaps by the third week or something, or maybe even a little bit before that. But the Empress, you can't get any better than the Empress, really. I mean, this is like bounty harvest, you know. This is like the energy of like incoming good things. Judgment next to the Empress indicates a second chance, a resurgence of something. Okay, so it might surge up again in March, and that's kind of, you know, the Wheel of Fortune being at the top, crowning this, indicates to me that the wheel is turning, things are changing. Turning toward the devil. The devil is not always, a bad thing if you think about it in the terms of, you know, the Greco-Roman kind of pantheon. This is like the god Pan, with the fiery feet. And the devil in energy is really, it's like his feet are on fire. So I feel like things are moving. People are excited. There's a lot of excitement and happiness around the direction that it takes in March. Okay, so here we have the Ace of Cups on its side. I do feel like it is going to surge. People will be happy about this. But it might change here toward the end of the month. Can I get a clarifier on the Ace of Cups, please? Why did it come out this way? Okay. All right. It might, let me get one more card. What's going on in the end of March here for Bitcoin? Okay, what's happening with Bitcoin in March toward the end of the month? Wow. Clarity for what is going on with Bitcoin at the end of March. Why is the Ace of Cups here this way? Why is the Tower here? Thank you. Okay, well, okay. It could be, this is what I get, okay? All right, so the clarity cards that I pulled. Now, the Ace of Cups is generally like, oh, it's like happiness, right? Your cup is overflowing with happiness, but it came out sideways, which indicates to me that this energy is changeable. So toward the end of March, the clarifiers around that are the Six of Wands, which indicate going from rough waters to calmer waters. But that's followed by the Tower, okay? And the Tower is kind of like a sudden, kind of unexpected event that happens. And that was clarified by, again, the Five of Pentacles, which is also on its side. So this could go either way. There's a lot of powerful energy in March. But toward the end of the month, I feel like something happens out of the blue that could spill that cup. Do you see what I'm saying? It could spill the cup of happiness, where once people thought, oh yeah, it's right back on track, it's looking good, it's resurging, and then either, I just feel like it's changeable. I do feel like either it surges beyond the point where it's been in 2022 thus far, or it goes back down. Okay, so I guess if I owned Bitcoin, which I don't, I personally would be very careful going forward with it. I mean, in March, do whatever you want, make your own decisions. I am not a crypto trader, but I guess if I was, I would be cautious at the end of March. So, it's kind of one of those things where, like, if you're in a relationship with someone and then you get love bombed and you're totally, like, loving it and then they ghost you or something. That's kind of the energy that I'm getting here. So, yeah. All right, so now we're going to move on to April of 2022 for Bitcoin. April 2022 for Bitcoin. April 2022 for Bitcoin, please. What's going on with Bitcoin in April 2022? All right, well, it was okay. Energy coming into April from March here for Bitcoin. What's the energy of the beginning of April? Oh, okay. All right. So these two flew out again, by the way, if you were paying attention to the last reading. Going from rough waters to calmer waters, or at least thinking you're going to calmer waters, and your boat sails into the Five of Pentacles, which is the card of poverty, as I've said. So that kind of confirms my suspicion about things getting weird at the end of March. Okay. Where is Bitcoin going in April? In the rest of April, what direction is Bitcoin going in the rest of April? Okay, thank you. Okay. Foundation, please, for April 2022. Foundation for April 2022. Foundation for Bitcoin for April. Okay, thank you. So, okay. Right. So the foundation energy here is the Empress, which we got last month, right, in March, which is a great card. It's abundance. It's this feeling of security, having everything you need. Harvest, right? But it came out sideways with the Nine of Swords, which is this discombobulated kind of energy of anxiety and fear. So the people who are in it, I really feel energetically, the people who are in it, are trying to kind of energetically hold on to it being this great, awesome thing, but they're scared shitless, okay, of it changing again or going down even further. So it's coming, it's exiting March in this not super great territory. I feel that whatever happens at the end of March will probably shock people a little bit. Going into April, there's another sort of sense of, it's a card of respite, but in this sense, I read it as stagnation, okay? It's like a withdrawal from the world, a withdrawal. People might be taking their money out in April. Let's see. Show me the rest of April for Bitcoin. Show me the rest of April 2022. Thank you. Show me the rest of April 2022 for Bitcoin. Show me the rest of April 2022 for Bitcoin, please. Why is the Hierophant here? Why is the Hierophant here? So it might get to the point in April, latter part of April, mid to late April, where the institutional investors, the banks, the institutions who are in it are falling out of love with it. They're not happy. They're falling out of love with it. They're not celebrating, okay? Upright, this is a card of celebration and great fun times. Reversed, it's not, okay? And the crowning energy here is the Chariot, which also came out sideways, and I'm reading that. The Chariot normally is a card of forward movement, momentum, success. There's potential here, but in the sense of this coin and the energy around it for April, I feel like it's like this horse wants to run, it wants to run, but there's this energy of stagnation, so it keeps getting stopped. That's what I feel. It's like there's anxiety and worry and stress here at the foundation, and the institutional investors are not super happy with what's going on. Okay, that's April. If, you know, like I said again, please consider tipping or donating. The link is in the description box below the video, and that really helps me because it helps me keep this channel alive. And I need to get a new microphone, and that would be really helpful. So, all right. May 2022 for Bitcoin. May 2022 for Bitcoin. May 2022 for Bitcoin. Virgo, pay attention to the details in May. Keep a close eye on it. All right, let's get some clarifiers. What's the overall energy for May 2022 for Bitcoin? What's the crowning energy for May? Thank you. All right. Oh, well, that's actually quite good. Ultimate happiness and the sun. So it's like things are going to be getting a little better here. Okay. Beginning of May 2022. What does that look like for Bitcoin? May. Beginning of May 2022. So it looks to me like it's going to probably be right at the beginning. It's like right at the beginning of May. There's movement. The general sentiment around what's happening is pretty darn good. So the institutional investors who I saw in the previous month in April getting irritated about things, the feeling I'm getting is like they might try and make some stuff happen here because they're not happy. They're not happy with their return. They're not happy with the way it's looking. So there might be some kind of a push. There's like a big decision being made here behind the scenes. So entering into May, I feel like they might push. There might be some kind of a big push or a lot of movement in the beginning, the very beginning of May. It's going to make a lot of people happy. Okay. That goes into probably the first or second week of May. The first or second week of May. The foundation energy here is the Eight of Swords, which indicates to me that there is still this feeling of being trapped. So it's probably gonna go up in the beginning of May, okay? But it's not going to. I don't see it exceeding where it has already been. Let's put it that way. There's a chance it might get up to the 70,000 range, but I don't feel that lasts for a long period of time. And I'm not saying that happens in May, but that's the energy that I'm getting. So I don't know when that's going to happen, but it could be May. So within the first or second week here, people are feeling pretty good about things, okay? Going forward into the month, again, it's crypto, things change. So what I'm seeing here is there might be, and I think I saw this in one of my readings. I think it was my reading on 2022 for the crypto market in general, but I see some kind of regulations stuff, some kind of government involvement where maybe perhaps they're starting to impose like more laws or something. I don't know. But what I'm seeing here is like laws, and people aren't going to be super duper happy about it. And this energy of awesome kind of peters out toward the end of the month of May. And by the end of May, you know, we have people being kind of disappointed again here, actually quite pissed off, and this kind of juggling, this up and down, you know, I don't know, that's really all I can say about May. It's not, you know, things change, the crypto market changes, it changes every day, but that's the general kind of energy leading into the end of May. So, but you know, this overall energy for the month, you see the woman looking through the microscope, you know, pay close attention to the details, and I think, you know, you'll be probably fine. I mean, I'm not a financial advisor, so make your own decisions, do your own research, all that stuff for Bitcoin. June. June 2022. June 2022 for Bitcoin. What is the overall primary energy? Thank you. Okay. June 2022 for Bitcoin, beginning of the month, please. It's too many cards. Going forward into June, what does the rest of June look like for 2022? Bitcoin. The rest of June look like for 2022? Second, third, fourth week. Okay. Well, that's looking better now. So it looks like it, the overall energy here is the Knight of Swords. That is a quick moving energy. I think things change in June for the better. It looks that way anyway. So let's see. Exiting May, we have these emotions. These kind of people are going to be emotional, but it looks like it gets a little bit more stable exiting May and entering into June. So they're kind of a little bit more stable. The last few days of May, entering into the beginning of June here. As it goes forward into June, we have less sort of conflict with it. This is also, the main card is the second house. The second house is a card of assets, and it has a bunch of gold coins on it, so I think that's a good omen for June. And then that's followed by the sun. The sun is the best card in the deck. And the star. The star is like divine kind of intervention, okay? So June is looking quite good. Let's get a base card here. What's the foundation energy for June? What's the foundation energy for Bitcoin for June? Yeah, people are, look at that card, it's like, the bull's got a fucking sword, like, going right through its eye, dude. So, people are feeling that way. That's how they're feeling about this. They're just like, I just feel like the time leading up to June when things get better has been painful for some people. There have been some losses. They're not super happy. This has been really, actually, I feel like a lot of people have taken big hits here. So the overall sentiment is one of like tiredness, tired of dealing with it, tired of like watching it just kind of, do its thing, because going from like 68,000 down to 30 is no fun, right? Especially when you bought in at 68,000. So yeah, the foundation card is people want it to be better, and I do think that it does get better in June, particularly in the last few weeks of June, okay?